La la la. Nope. These are in, oh, actually, it's like 3 apples, 4 apples from my apple tree over there. The apples are delish on my list. So this is so in Southern California. There's a couple popular apples here. These are when it has, where is it? So the darker red, I believe these are Anna apples. That's the tree on the right over there of the two. And then the other one that's like a more oh, you want apple too, buddy? Go. Want it? Nice. What a champion. Just grabs it right out of my hand. The less red, so there's dark red. I think it's these ones. These ones that look more muscular are like, I believe, I think they're Golden Dorset. And the more red ones are Anna. They ripen like, the charts say within 5 days from each other, so they blossom, pollinate each other, and then they're delicious to eat together too after the whole process is over. Wow. Mm. Geez, you got a nasty cracked chicken. Mm. Hello, Tara, Philip, and Jaden. What's up? I'm just hanging out in the backyard with my chickens. Enjoying an apple from that tree over there. Well, a couple apples. I got them cut up because, yeah, I don't know. It's so I've got these chickens. I eat most of the apple, but then I give like the core to the chicken. So, yeah. And normally my dog's pretty active back here, but I don't know. I think she's over there. I think she's taking a nap under that tree doing something. So I am just testing out how to record from my top pocket and seeing if this is a viable situation to record from. So I don't really want to get one of those like like the police have those things that hold their little like recorders or whatever. I don't really want to get one of those because, I mean, I don't think I'm too cool for it or anything. I just didn't want to get one. But hey, Boots, what are you doing? Want another apple? I don't think she liked that apple all that much. She just kind of, hey, you want part of an apple? Brownie, come here. Hey, come on. No? Come on, you want some of this? And go get an action photo here. There you go. Yeah, little apple. Ooh, Boots is gonna fight you for it, sucker. There you go. Oh, wow. Kind of beaked me, brother. Or sister, sorry. I know misgendering's a pretty much crime if you're not in the United States right now. Wouldn't want to do that and have my balls in a vice, you know? Wow. What, you don't want it? Trust me, it's delicious. Here. Boot or Spot. Hey. Yeah, go ahead, have that. You're pecking at the ground, dude. Or you don't want, you rather peck at the ground. Good for you. Sometimes these chickens are jerks. You know, you just pretty much threw this. You didn't really eat it. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, so it's almost sunset here. Are you on the other side of the world? I don't know. It's Jaden Boone. Sounds like a probably American. So maybe not the other side of the world, but possibly the other side of the country. I don't know. I'm not really sure what state you're in. Wow, Tara, I got to tell you, you are a creep. Your two posts are nothing, and then your first question is, can I see your face? Are you by any chance a Pajit bot? Just asking. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, let's keep it a buck. I don't know why people say keep it buck when I think the saying is keep it a buck. At least I think that's the saying. But yeah, these apples are delish. Should I have like a little table out here with my apples on it? Is that what I should be doing? And sometimes, you know, this is a good red right here. It's a good red. That's as red as these apples are gonna get, son. These apples are delish on my list. And I know why. Yeah, right here. There it is. Yeah, I realized I spit that out, but you know, I was kind of hoping the chicken would eat it. Mm. 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 Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm. 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 Well, number five though. You showing off for the camera, sucker? Yeah. Just me, the birds, chickens. I guess they're birds. And my dog. You're encouraged to ask me anything, and I will do my best to answer you. Oh, yeah. Mm. Mm. Oh, yeah. Ah. Oh. Oh, yeah. This is a half-gallon ball jar, cur jar. I don't think there's a difference except for the name on the side. Yeah, ball jar. You might ask, why a half gallon? So many replies to that. Why is it a half gallon? Why not? I guess would be my first reply. Second reply is something like, you have to refill it as much. You're drinking a shit ton of water anyways. Um, why not have the whole half gallon there? And get that water in you. Mm. What, is that yours? There you go. There you go. Really getting that, really getting in there. Some days I wish I had a beak. It's a little raw milk and quarter cup of whey protein. Isolate. I guess I'll be specific. I was talking with somebody the other day, and they were like, "Yeah, you got to be specific with people because you might." And hey, I realize everybody chooses to eat what they choose to eat, but if you're really specific about what kind of whey protein that you're sipping on here, um, like let's say you're like you're talking and you're like like people could just tell you're a real piece of shit, real piece of crap, real pile of it. Like however much you weigh, say you weigh 150 pounds. People will hear you talk, and they're like, "Hey, that's a 150 pound piece of crap there." It's good. It is good. Yeah, if I went to the Bahamas, I don't know if I would really feed stingrays. Just feel like didn't that Steve Irwin fella, didn't he die of hanging out I mean, I realize he didn't die from hanging out with stingrays, and I realize most people don't. Most people don't get attacked when they're just hanging out with stingrays, because I guess if you pretty much go in the ocean, you are hanging out with stingrays. I guess technically you would be hanging out with sharks also. All types of non-predator, not lethal fish too. But, would you go... I mean, I guess if you wanted to... If you really like stingrays and you ignore the Steve Irwin warnings, then yeah, maybe you would go up there and want to see how a stingray is eating. Like, you'd want to see that process. I guess you'd want to see its little mouth open, that might be fun. But it's just the fact that Steve Irwin was this macho dude of a pretty rare kind. He wasn't afraid of anything. I think he knew how to act around stingrays. I'm assuming he did. I'm assuming he wasn't like, I'm gonna act erratic and see it. I'm gonna act erratic and see if this stingray will give me the old jab in the hat. Like, I'm assuming that's not what he was doing. So, Yeah. It almost seems like he randomly got killed by a stingray. So it's not like a, I'm assuming that he was behaving himself around the stingray and just randomly got bolted, right, impaled in the chest. So I think if I were to go to the Bahamas, I would most likely not go feed the stingrays. Although, yeah, maybe it's like a different state type of thing. Maybe if you're towards the center of the US and not the oceans, then maybe you're like, oh, it's the ocean. I got to see a stingray, a shark, a dolphin. I got to get my feet wet. Got to get got to get all in the ocean. Everything that has to do with the ocean. I mean, here we got SeaWorld. Like probably everybody I grew up with and ever knew has at least been to SeaWorld. Man, I think I've been there like, I think I've probably been there like 10 times. So, not that that makes me an expert or like I know how to swim around a stingray. But I just don't think hanging out with stingrays is fun. I think if you're hanging out with a stingray, you could possibly get stung, hence the name, stingray. But if you're just, if you're hanging out with the seals, or a dolphin for that matter, I think you do have the potential to get humped. Maybe I'd rather hang out with a stingray than a seal or a dolphin, because the seal or dolphin could possibly pull you under and successfully, like, assault you sexually and keep you under there, and by the time it's done you could possibly be out of air, not only choking on water, but if it did its thing successfully, you could possibly be choking on the sperm of the seal or the dolphin too. So that's why I think I've changed my mind about feeding the stingrays. Maybe I'd rather get stung by a stingray than humped by a seal or a dolphin. All three ways kind of suck on, like, checking out of this life, like death by ocean creature. But it's just the added insult to injury. Because if you're going to die, I suppose you're going to die. But it's the whole, like, getting humped to death. I guess that the humping is not what kills you. But it's like, I realize obviously it's the water in the lungs that kills you. But it's the getting humped while the water goes in your lungs. That's what adds the real insult to it. Like, if some punk stingray just comes up and stabs you, that's one thing, and it's not, I think it's less humiliating because it's more of like a numbers game rather than a, like, you're gonna die and then I'm also going to disrespect you by humping you. With the stingray, it's more of like, something sneaks up on you and then stings you, impales you with their tail-like
member. Yeah, no, at first, I think, sometimes you think things over and you realize things like, I guess I'd rather die like Steve Irwin did than die like, like at least Robin Williams got to do it to himself. If you're hanging out with a seal or a dolphin, you don't even get to do that to yourself. That's just your way, your unfortunate random demise. At least Robin Williams died doing what he loves so much. Like, you have to be so into that. Like, if you really like think about it, like, like if you're just dabbling in that hobby, maybe you're good at imagining, or you've procured yourself some, like, I don't want to say beautiful images. I guess it's like disgusting images, because what you're doing with it and yourself is, pretty gross and deranged. But it's so much of your hobby, like you think you're an expert at it at this point. So you then find yourself like doing weird stuff to your body while you're doing it, like just thousands of times. Like, you wonder over the year, like, I wonder how many years you have to be a professional masturbator to really get into like hanging yourself or choking yourself. Maybe it's a I don't want to say crime. Maybe it's an apparatus of convenience, because your neck is round, so obviously you're not going to choke yourself on like a chair or something, because a chair's like straight, whereas your neck's like this, and so the rope conveniently takes the shape of your throat, and then at that point you're using your own body weight through what's called, like, I guess, gravity, and you can kind of use your legs to use less or use more gravity to choke yourself while you're doing your favorite hobby that you've spent so much time doing, that you now I wonder if Robin Williams ever thought to himself, like, oh, these amateurs, these guys are just amateurs over here. What I'm doing by myself, like, I'm a professional. I'm an actual professional at this hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even a hobby at this point. It's a way of life. Because I'm assuming that you've dedicated some serious time to all kinds of disgusting, like, jerkin habits. And then at some point you find yourself, like, I'm assuming you don't just choke yourself one time and then that's the time that you end up dying, because you choked yourself so hard while jerking that you end up accidentally killing yourself. No, I'm assuming you do it kind of hard. And you're like, oh man, that was really fun, and you get more and more into it, to the point where you're like, quit being a sissy and do it harder. Like, I'm not promoting sex outside of marriage, because I'm obviously, but I'm assuming with a partner, you're like, kind of like wowing each other, like how crazy you are. But then there's old Robin Williams, like all coked out, talking to himself on a stage. You know what I'm going to do to really impress myself this time? I'm going to really choke myself. You wonder how many times he did it and almost killed himself, and then got away with it and was like, whew, I'm really happy that I didn't kill myself. Not so much that I can hang out with my family or anybody else, but I get to choke myself while jerking again because I didn't die this time. It's weird, like the habits that you get when you know, like the whole like spectrum. Like I'm assuming there's a cross point where it's like, hey, this hobby. I'll try to get it on here. Like my safety goes down this much while having a dangerous hobby, and it's like the chances, like the okay, that's going down, and then the chances of killing myself during a hobby go further and further up. Like they do it, they cross. Obviously, there's a higher chance of harming yourself. And then at what point is it like, yo, you straight up love jerking while choking yourself so much that it's like, I'm extreme, bro. There's a chance of dying when I'm jerking. Like, that's how much into this hobby I am. Bro, I'm way into this hobby. Like I remember I would go to the Huntington Beach golf course darn near every weekend a lot of the time, a few years back. And I remember at one point I had my buddy, he was just over at my house here, and he saw how many disc golf uh, discs that I have. And he was like, bro, why do you have that many? Why do you have that many discs? And like my reaction was like, well, I mean, I realize I haven't even used some of them, this and that. Like, I'm kind of into this, you know. I'm kind of like into this. I got a bunch of putters. I'm not gonna show it to you, but I got my disc golf catcher, and I'll ching it. I'll ching it. That's my disc golf catcher. Like I'm way into it, right? So I got a bunch of discs. The accoutrement, the stuff that goes along with the hobby. You know, if it's gonna be like wet grass out, I would always carry a bunch of extra towels in my truck. That way I would have something to dry the disc off, and then I could flick it better, you know? And that's like, I feel like that's a normal hobby. Like, it takes a lot of time. You know, it's just very time consuming. But when you have the habit of choking while jerking all by yourself, because like when you disc golf, you're with people, so it's pretty fun. You're like, oh hey man, good shot, and then like you throw the disc, and somebody's like, hey, that was a good toss, bro. You almost had it. Almost got a birdie. Almost got the bird. And old Robin Williams is over there. It's like, yeah, he's got his bird all right, and he's fucking choking himself too. And it is disgusting. It is not beautiful. I would argue that it is the opposite of beautiful when you're not just doing that to yourself, you're also choking yourself too. So you're like really into that hobby. I think I was probably as much into disc golf as Robin Williams was into masturbating. And I guess I could like really thank God that disc golf did not take my life like masturbating took Robin Williams' life. That I could definitely be thankful for. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of I guess I'm not a comedian. Comedic? I guess I'm comedic. Not a comedian though. Is that one of my hobbies? I hope it doesn't kill me one day. The old whey protein here, got an extra 20 grams of protein in me. pretty happy about it. It's kind of curious how long this was going to let me stream for, because I guess there's not as many, or I guess when you don't have a lot of subscribers, that's the word. When you don't have a lot of subscribers, they only let you stream for a certain amount of time. But yeah, no, I mean, 45 minutes is like a decent amount. Oh, hey, Mr. Jeff Hewitt, how are you doing? Just chilling here in my backyard. I was hanging out with the chickens, but it's like kind of dark now, so I think they made their way into their, I don't even think you can see it anymore because it's so dark, but they made their way into their little home there, their little house. I don't know if the fan's blocking it. I was kind of, live streaming is new to me, so I wanted to see how long I could live stream for, and I wanted to have my hands free, that way I could, you know, make gestures like a quarter Italian, because I am in fact a quarter Italian. So when I talk, I gotta do this, otherwise I end up obviously stabbing somebody to death. So, yeah, I just wanted to see if I could like have my phone in my top pocket and be able to do yard work, which I think I am. It's like a little, you know, I guess if I get around there, it's be like a little bit bouncy or whatever, but I think it's, you know, it's a doable thing. What does it say? Mr. Jeff, sup, DJ? Staying safe in Cali? Hold on, I'll try to do it in your voice, since I've never heard your voice before. I imagine you to be like a calculated voice. Sup, DJ? Staying safe in Cali? Staying safe in Cali. Yeah, I am. I'm assuming you're obviously talking about the riots. I'm assuming you're thinking about the riots. Maybe you just kind of know I'm a knucklehead, so I wouldn't be safe because I'm kind of a knucklehead. Yeah, no, I'm staying away from the riots. They're I think they're somewhere between like 45 and 50 miles north of me. So yeah, I have avoided the area for sure. I definitely am avoiding that because they're riots. I think most sane people hear about a riot. They don't even have to see it. They just hear about the riot and they're kind of like, well, I'll probably stay out of that vicinity. That's a good idea. You know, obviously, that's just a great idea. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what type of person like hears riot and they're like, yo, I gotta get me some of that. And you're like, what are you talking about? You're gonna watch it, like, you're gonna watch it on TV, you're gonna watch it on one of your many screens? Like, no. I'm gonna wear a ridiculous outfit just in case I get gassed or a rock thrown at me. So I'm gonna wear protection and I'm gonna get in that riot, bro. And you're like, you look at this person like, dang, I'm not that type of person. Yeah, no, I hear riot and I either stay away from it, and if it is close to me, I definitely go in the other direction. I think the most action that the part of Orange County that I'm in saw was the other day on the way home from the grocery store. I stopped at a red light and I saw that somebody had written "fuck ICE" on the wall, you know, in spray paint. And it was kind of nice because I went there the day afterwards and the city had already painted over the "fuck ICE" spray paint. And it's funny because in that area, you know, every once in a while, like, I don't even know the name of the gangs. It's like, you know, Crazy Vatos for Satan or something like that. And as soon as they do a tag, it gets painted over pretty quick. So I'm pretty thankful about that one. Hi, that's the Gabagool. Yeah, for sure. I mean, You know, it's funny. Like I did see that series, but I guess the people who have watched it a lot actually know. Like they kind of went out and did the research and found out what this gabagool was, and yeah, I'm you know, for only being a quarter Italian, yeah, hey, I love my noodles, love my sauce. I don't call it gravy. Like I'm not. I think that's an East Coast thing. I don't think it's an Italian thing. It might be an Italian thing. I'm not really sure. Correct is some. Yeah, probably about the riots. Well, it has gotten dark on me here, and my little punk dog didn't even come over to say hi this whole time I've been here. So I think I'm gonna wrap things up. But you know, Jeff, if you're searching for more action and you want to hear it, I was pretty much talking to myself about how, you know, like you get into hobbies, getting stung by a stingray, how Steve Irwin got done wrong, and then how like if you're really insane in your hobbies, like a Robin Williams type of character, you know, your hobby could possibly kill you. I thought it was a pretty good rant. But yeah, it's like so dark right now. I just saw a rat too. So I saw a rat out here. It's not that I'm scared of it, because I'm like a super tough dude. I am an STD. I'm a super tough dude. Um, yeah, just most of the time when I see rats, I go over there and I close that cage. Have me a little snacky. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I was bragging about my apples earlier. They're I think I ate all the Anna apples. There's just Golden Dorset left, but they're from an apple tree over there. Hopefully, I could show that off to you when it's, you know, a little more light out. But they're delicious. You know, they're fresh picked from the tree. I would argue that they're tastier than just about any store bought apple. So, not to brag, but they are delicious. I was enjoying them, making all types of noises. Maybe, yeah, now that I think about it, maybe they're a little on the inappropriate side, but you only live once.
Well, all right. I'm going to sign off, but I hope everybody's got a lovely evening in front of them, and I will catch you hopefully on the next one. All right, everyone, having a good one. Later, Jeff. All right.